Ladies and gentlemen, building character is the foundation upon which we build a life of purpose, success, and integrity. It is not something that happens by accident. Character is developed through the decisions we make, the challenges we face, and the way we respond to those challenges. It is the measure of who we truly are, not in our moments of triumph, but in our everyday actions. Let me share with you 6 key principles that will help you develop the character that will sustain you in every aspect of life. First, understand that your character is your identity. It's not what you wear, the title you hold, or the accolades you collect. It's how you live when no one is watching, how you treat others when you don't need anything from them. Character is your internal strength. It's how you handle adversity, how you rise after failure, and how you persevere when everything around you seems to be falling apart. There is a saying that goes, your character is your destiny. It is true, your character defines who you are, how you approach life, and how you respond to both success and failure. It is not merely a reflection of your actions, but a reflection of your innermost beliefs, thoughts, and principles. In life, we often place a great deal of emphasis on external achievements, but true success is measured by the strength of your character, the essence of who you are when no one is watching. Character is not something you can buy or inherit. It is not determined by what you wear, where you live, or the title you carry. It is built by the choices you make every single day, in the small moments and in the big challenges. As Ralph Waldo Emerson said, what you do speaks so loudly that I cannot hear what you say. The world judges not by your words, but by your actions. Your character is the real measure of your worth. It is what truly defines you. There are many who spend their lives striving to be the best in the eyes of others. They chase after accolades, material possessions, and fleeting victories. But these things are not what last. They are not what will sustain you when the storms of life come. What will sustain you, what will remain even when everything else fades away, is your character. In the words of Booker T. Washington, character, not circumstances, makes the man. It is through your character that you will overcome the obstacles in your path. And it is through your character that you will rise again after you fall. We live in a world that often glorifies the outward appearance of success, the shiny cars, the grand houses, the wealth, and the fame. But these things, though they may seem alluring, are not the measure of a person's true worth. As Theodore Roosevelt wisely said, to educate a man in mind and not in morals is to educate a menace to society. True education is not merely academic or intellectual. It is the education of the heart, the building of a foundation of values and principles that guide us in our daily lives. Character is the true currency of life, and it is priceless. What we often forget is that character is built in the moments when no one is looking. It is in the quiet acts of kindness, the decisions just to do what is right, even when no one will know, and the moments when we choose integrity over convenience. Character is not a product of circumstance, but of conscious choice. It is the sum of our decisions, and the strength of our decisions is what determines the quality of our character. As the great author Jim Rohn once said, your life does not get better by chance, it gets better by change. The change begins within you, with the choices you make in every moment. One of the most important things to understand about character is that it is not a static thing. It is not something you simply have or don't have. It is something that you develop and refine over time. Just as a sculptor chips away at a block of marble to reveal the masterpiece hidden within, so too must we continually work on ourselves, shaping our character with every experience and every challenge. The great philosopher Aristotle said, we are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. Excellence in character is cultivated over time through consistent actions, through the repeated practice of doing what is right, even when it is difficult. This process is not easy. It takes time, effort, and perseverance. It requires you to face your flaws and your weaknesses with courage, to acknowledge where you fall short, and to strive for improvement. But do not be discouraged, for as Winston Churchill once stated, success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. Every failure is an opportunity to grow. Every challenge is an opportunity to build resilience. And every setback is a chance to develop the strength of character that will carry you through life. When we speak of character, we must also acknowledge the importance of integrity. Integrity is the backbone of character, is the inner strength that allows you to do what is right, even when it is unpopular or difficult. Integrity is not a part-time commitment, but a full-time way of living. As the author C.S. Lewis said, integrity is doing the right thing, even when no one is watching. True integrity is not about seeking recognition for doing the right thing. It is about doing what is right, because it is who you are. It is about standing firm in your values, even when the world around you may try to convince you otherwise. Another key aspect of character is humility. Humility does not mean thinking less of yourself, but rather thinking of yourself less. It is the ability to remain grounded, to acknowledge your strengths without arrogance, and to recognize that everyone has something valuable to contribute. The great leader John C. Maxwell once said, "A great leader's courage to fulfill his vision comes from passion, not position. Humility allows us to serve others with compassion and to lead with grace." It is through humility that we build meaningful relationships, inspire trust, and create an environment where others can flourish. Character also demands responsibility. It is about owning your actions and decisions and accepting the consequences, both good and bad. In a world that often seeks to shift blame, to make excuses, and to avoid accountability, character requires that we take full responsibility for our lives. As the author Stephen Covey put it, "I am not a product of my circumstances. I am a product of my decisions." Your character is built on the decisions you make, and those decisions are yours to own. When you take responsibility, you take control of your future, and you empower yourself to shape the life you desire. At the end of the day, the true measure of success is not how much wealth fame you accumulate. It is not about the number of people who know your name or the trophies you collect along the way. True success is about the legacy you leave behind, the impact you have on others, the difference you make in the world, and the strength of your character. As the great poet Ralph Waldo Emerson said, "The purpose of life is not to be happy. It is to be useful, to be honorable, to be compassionate, to have it make some difference that you have lived and lived well." Your character is the true reflection of who you are, and it is the most important thing you can build in your life. It is what will carry you through the storms, what will sustain you through adversity, and what will define you long after your achievements have been forgotten. So build your character with intention. Make it strong, make it unshakable, and let it be the foundation upon which you build the life you were meant to live. Integrity is the cornerstone of success. It is the essence of who we are when no one is watching. And it is the measure of how we handle ourselves in both the good times and the bad. Integrity is not a choice, it is a commitment. A choice to consistently do what is right, regardless of the consequences, regardless of who notices, and regardless of how difficult it may be. It is a principle that shapes your reputation, builds trust with others, and creates a lasting legacy of honor. As the famous writer and speaker Zig Ziglar once said, "With integrity, you have nothing to fear, since you have nothing to hide." The value of integrity cannot be overstated. It is at its core the foundation of every relationship, every endeavor, and every triumph. Without it, even the greatest accomplishments will be hollow. As the renowned author John C. Maxwell put it, "A person's integrity is not about being perfect, but about being honest and doing the right thing, even when no one is watching." Integrity means standing firm in your values, not allowing the temptations of convenience or the pressure of external opinions to sway your choices. It is doing what is right, not just what is easy. In the fast-paced world we live in, where success is often measured by wealth, status, and power, integrity can sometimes feel like an outdated virtue. We are often tempted to cut corners, to deceive, or to take shortcuts to achieve our goals. But as the great philosopher Aristotle said, character may almost be called the most effective means of persuasion. It is not the external rewards that determine our true success, but the internal values we choose to uphold. Integrity is a constant that holds you steady in the midst of shifting circumstances. It is the strength that helps you rise after a fall and guides you when the path is unclear. Integrity is something that must be practiced daily. It is not an attribute that can be developed overnight, nor is it something you can turn on in moments of need. It is a way of life, a commitment to consistency and honor in all things, no matter how small they seem. As the great leader and thinker Mahatma Gandhi said, "You must be the change you wish to see in the world. If you wish to see a world built on truth, honor, and respect, then you must first cultivate these qualities within yourself." Integrity is the foundation of personal credibility. When people know they can trust you, when they see that your word is your bond, they are more likely to follow your lead and support your endeavors. Your character becomes your most valuable asset. Consider this: integrity is not just about being honest with others, it's about being honest with yourself. The most profound form of integrity is the ability to reflect on your actions, acknowledge your mistakes, and make the necessary corrections. Self-honesty builds self-trust, and self-trust is the foundation of all personal growth. As the philosopher Socrates wisely stated, "The unexamined life is not worth living." Without integrity, without truth, your life becomes a series of illusions, and it is only through honest self-reflection that you can realize your full potential. When you live with integrity, your choices align with your values. You do not compromise who you are or what you believe in just to fit in or to take advantage of a situation. Integrity forces you to make difficult decisions and sometimes to face challenges that others may avoid. But it is precisely these choices that build your strength and shape your destiny. The writer and leadership expert Stephen Covey said, "We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence then is not an act, But a habit integrity is not a one-time act, it is a habit, a practice that must be incorporated into every aspect of your life. It becomes who you are, and over time, it begins to define your legacy. Integrity is also a key to lasting success. There are many who experience fleeting moments of fame or fortune through dishonest means, but without integrity. These moments are not built to last. As the great leader Abraham Lincoln said, the best way to predict your future is to create it. When you build your future on a foundation of integrity, you create a future that is secure, sustainable, and meaningful. The trust you build with others, the respect you earn, and the satisfaction you derive from knowing you acted honorably will always sustain you, even when external circumstances change. In contrast, those who chase success at the expense of their integrity may rise quickly, but they will fall just as fast, because a foundation built on dishonesty cannot withstand the storms of life. Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. It is the one thing that separates those who succeed from those who merely dream of success. Discipline is the ability to stay committed to the process, to do what needs to be done, even when it's hard, even when no one is watching. As the famous philosopher Aristotle once said, we are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. Discipline is what makes excellence not just a one-time achievement, but a lifestyle, a choice you make every single day. In life, we all have dreams, we all have aspirations, and we all desire success. But success is not a random act. It is the result of consistent effort, relentless focus, and the courage to push through obstacles. As the legendary motivational speaker Jim Rohn said, discipline is the foundation upon which all success is built. Lack of discipline inevitably leads to failure. Success, then, is not a matter of chance, but of choice. Discipline is the power to choose to keep going, even when it's easier to quit. It is what enables us to follow through on our commitments and stay on course, no matter how difficult the journey becomes. If we want to achieve anything great in life, we must understand that discipline is not just about restricting ourselves or making sacrifices. It is about making the right choices day in and day out. It is about developing the ability to delay gratification, to resist the urge for instant pleasure, and to prioritize long-term rewards over short-term satisfactions. The great motivational speaker Tony Robbins once said, the quality of your life is in direct proportion to the amount of uncertainty you can comfortably live with. Discipline allows you to embrace that uncertainty, to face challenges head-on, and to know that success will come with time, with effort, and with perseverance. It's easy to talk about discipline, to say we will do what it takes to achieve our goals. But the real test of discipline comes in the small, everyday choices. It's the decision to wake up early, even when the bed feels so comfortable. It's the decision to keep working when your energy is low and your motivation is slipping. It's the decision to keep pushing forward when the results are not immediately visible. As the writer and philosopher Henry David Thoreau wisely said, success usually comes to those who are too busy to be looking for discipline. It's not about focusing on the outcome, but about focusing on the process. It's about doing the work day after day without expecting immediate results. It's the willingness to trust in the process and to keep putting in the effort, knowing that every action you take, no matter how small, is bringing you one step closer to your goal. One of the most powerful aspects of discipline is that it builds momentum. When we consistently make disciplined choices, even the smallest actions start to compound, and over time they create powerful momentum. The writer and speaker Darren Hardy said, success is the progressive realization of a worthy goal or ideal. Discipline is what makes this progress possible. It's what helps us take consistent steps forward, even when the results don't seem immediate. It is through the daily practice of discipline that we build the momentum we need to achieve great things. Discipline also helps us build resilience. It is easy to give up when we face obstacles, but discipline teaches us to keep going, to bounce back from failures, and to learn from mistakes. As the legendary boxer Muhammad Ali famously said, I hated every minute of training, but I said, don't quit. Suffer now and live the rest of your life as a champion. Discipline is the ability to endure, to stay strong in the face of adversity, and to keep pushing forward when others would give up. It is the quality that allows us to turn setbacks into stepping stones and to use challenges as opportunities for growth. In every area of life, whether in our careers, our health, our relationships, or our personal development, discipline is the key that unlocks our potential. It is the thing that keeps us on track, even when the journey is difficult, and it is the thing that turns our goals into achievements. As the writer and philosopher Jim Rohn once said, discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. Without discipline, our goals will remain just that, goals. But with discipline, those goals become reality. When we talk about responsibility, we are talking about more than simply fulfilling obligations or meeting expectations. It's about taking full ownership of everything in your life, the good and the bad, and recognizing that you have the power to change the course of your journey. Responsibility is about acknowledging that the choices you make today have an impact on tomorrow. It's easy to blame external circumstances, other people, or the world for our setbacks, but it is only by accepting full responsibility for our actions that we can truly transform our lives. As the motivational speaker and author Jim Rohn once said, "You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with, emphasizing the power of choice in our environment and relationships." Responsibility starts with the realization that we have control over what we allow into our lives and how we respond to it. One of the most powerful things we can do for ourselves is to accept responsibility for our own happiness. Happiness is not something that comes from the outside world. It is a choice, a decision we make every day. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that happiness comes from having more, from achieving certain goals, or from the approval of others. But as the legendary philosopher Albert Schweitzer said, happiness is the key to all success. If you love what you are doing, you will be successful. Happiness comes from within. And taking responsibility for it means not allowing external circumstances to control your emotional state. When you take responsibility for your own happiness, you stop waiting for life to happen to you, and you begin making life happen for you. Taking responsibility also means facing your fears and confronting your weaknesses. It's easy to deny our flaws, to make excuses, or to play the victim. But the path to growth and self-improvement is through acknowledging where we fall short and taking active steps to overcome those shortcomings. The great author and speaker Stephen Covey famously said, "Accountability breeds responsibility. This is the essence of responsibility. It's the ability to respond to situations, to rise above them, and to take control of your life." It is the willingness to face your challenges head on, learn from your mistakes, and take ownership of your progress. Responsibility also means being accountable to others. We live in a world that thrives on relationships, whether personal or professional, and being responsible means being dependable, trustworthy, and reliable. When you take responsibility for your commitments, you build trust and strengthen the bonds that tie you to others. Responsibility is the cornerstone of every healthy relationship, whether it's in the workplace, with your family, or with friends. As the legendary speaker and author John C. Maxwell said, "The pessimist complains about the wind, the optimist expects it to change, the realist adjusts the sails." Responsibility is about adjusting your sails, about doing what it takes to navigate through life with honesty, integrity, and consistency. Another critical aspect of responsibility is time management. Time is our most precious resource, and how we choose to spend it determines the quality of our lives. Responsibility means managing your time effectively, making sure that you focus on what truly matters and avoiding the distractions that take you away from your goals. As the famous writer and speaker Tony Robbins once said, "The only limit to your impact is your imagination and commitment." When you take responsibility for your time, you take responsibility for your impact. You begin to use your time purposefully to create a life that aligns with your dreams and ambitions. Responsibility is also about being proactive, not reactive. It's about taking the initiative to create the life you want, rather than waiting for things to happen. The author and speaker Brian Tracy says, "The key to success is to focus our conscious mind on things we desire, not things we fear." When you take responsibility, you stop waiting for opportunities to come to you, and instead, you create them. You go out into the world, take action, and shape your own destiny. The world rewards those who are proactive, those who step up and take action instead of waiting for circumstances to change. By being responsible for your own actions, you take control over your future, your choices, and your success. At the core of responsibility is the understanding that you are not just responsible for your own actions, but also for the outcomes they produce. This is what makes responsibility such a powerful tool. When you take full ownership of your actions, you also take full ownership of the results. This means that when things don't go as planned, you don't look for someone or something to blame. Instead, you look inward, assess your decisions, and figure out what you can do differently. This empowers you to make better choices, to learn from your experiences, and to continually improve. Responsibility is the key to unlocking your potential, to achieving your goals, and to becoming the best version of yourself. In the end, responsibility is the pathway to success. It is the recognition that your life is yours to shape, and that everything you do has an impact. When you embrace responsibility, you take control of your destiny and start living a life of purpose and intention. As the author and motivational speaker Tony Robbins once said, "The only thing that's keeping you from getting what you want is the story you keep telling yourself. Stop telling yourself that life is out of your control. Take responsibility for it, and watch as your world transforms." Through responsibility, you create the life you want and become the person you were always meant to be. In conclusion, taking responsibility is the most powerful choice you can make in shaping your life and achieving your goals. It is the foundation upon which true success, growth, and fulfillment are built. By embracing responsibility, you take full ownership of your actions, your decisions, and your future. You become the master of your own destiny, empowered to make choices that align with your values and dreams. Responsibility is not always easy, but it is the key that unlocks your potential, transforms challenges into opportunities, and propels you toward greatness. As you move forward in life, remember that you are in control. Your choices define you, your actions determine your outcomes, and the life you create is yours to own. Embrace responsibility, and you will create a future filled with purpose, power, and success.